hi, good evening. You're watching Live Wire and I'm Swati Joshi. While Leicester in UK witnessed violence with fighting witnessed on the streets, here in India, the Trinamool Congress leader Saket Gokhale blames Hindus for the attacks and revives the saffron terror narrative, saying it's time countries flag the potency of saffron terror and Hindu extremist groups. Let's go across to our national editor Madhav joining us on the broadcast with more details. Madhav, a very one-sided approach to the entire issue. Clashes broke out. Saket Gokhale believes that this is form of Hindu extremism which is on display.
Well, certainly, of course, at a time when Hindu temples have been attacked, when Hindus themselves and their symbols of the religion have been attacked in Leicester, and also at the same time when there have been reports coming in of, in fact, several who have been held hostage as well, including children. There are certainly unconfirmed reports of that coming out. At a time like this, certainly, how can it be that it is, in fact, only one-sided perspective that is being taken by the spokesperson is the question that the BJP is raising. And also, of course, whether or not, whichever side we have begun it, the violence, that is, of course, it is a matter of fact that the Leicester police is investigating it. At the same time, of course, they have come on record to say that any kind of attack on mosques, etc., had not taken place. When that is the case, why is it that this kind of an interpretation is being drawn, or this kind of a conclusion is being drawn, ignoring what has happened on ground? Is it only for political purposes, the question that the BJP is asking? And certainly more controversial comments coming in from Saket Gokhale, even as he attempts to clarify the statements that he had initially made.
Right, Madhav, stay on with us. Let's also play out some reactions coming in from the Bharatiya Janata Party. The BJP has hit out at TMC and Saket Gokhale on saffron terror narrative comment and has slammed the party for giving a clean chit to Islamists. The BJP has also challenged the TMC to call out violence against Hindus.
आपने देखा है जिस तरह से इन लोगों ने हमेशा से भगवा के ऊपर प्रहार करते हुए भगवे को बदनाम करने के लिए अपने लोगों को खड़ा करके, अपने लोगों को गमछा डालकर आतंकवादियों को महिमा मंडित ये लोग करते हैं, तो इन्हें ये सब तरीके पता हैं। इसलिए यही लोग हैं जो बार बार इस तरह की घटनाओं को कराते रहते हैं और इल्जाम देना चाहते हैं, भगवा आतंकवाद की तरफ ले जाना चाहते हैं, क्योंकि इनको प्रेम है उन आतंकवादियों से जो दुनिया में उथल पुथल मचाए हुए हैं, पूरी दुनिया जिनसे परेशान है। भारत तेरे टुकड़े होंगे गैंग के साथ खड़े होकर, अलगाववादियों के साथ खड़े होकर, जिन्होंने विभाजन किया उनके साथ खड़े दिखते हैं ये लोग। आज भी इनकी सरकार जो चल रही है तृणमूल की, अगर आप देखें तो उसमें विदेशी ही फंडिंग और विदेशी लोगों का सहयोग रहता है ना। देश के लोगों की तो ये लोग हत्या करते रहते हैं।
All right, we are now joined by Rashmi Sawant, former student president of the Oxford University, somebody who in fact has faced discrimination and targeting because of her religion. Rashmi Sawant, thank you for joining us. Now here in India, one party leader has taken a stand that what is on display in Leicester is in fact a form of Hindu extremism. That is his perspective. Can you help us understand what really is happening on ground and in this particular case as well, according to you?
Well, from what you can see from videos and from what Leicester police has been tweeting on their official handle, it can clearly be seen that rumors are being spread that Hindus are attacking mosques, etc., whereas it's not so. The police has itself verified the fact. And there are videos of a temple being desecrated in Leicester. For those of us who have lived there, we know the temple and we can clearly identify the temple being desecrated. And the violence is not ending. Currently, a protest has been called, calling upon Muslims from all countries. So you can see flags of every Islamic country being put together on that flag in front of the Durga temple in Birmingham now. So this is actually spreading very rapidly. It's going to Birmingham, it's going to Nottingham. And false propaganda like this that the political leader here is making is just not helping the case. Rather, it is victimizing the Hindus more in the UK right now. Currently, the Hindus are in an apathetic condition. Their condition, their plight and their future remains bleak. And the way that they're being treated with such suspicion, even when videos are clearly available of them being targeted, of them being harassed, it is appalling. You can clearly see a Hindu man and his car being toppled just because it had a few Hindu symbols on it, a sticker and a key hanging with the Om. So this is the level of attacks which are happening, and all of these people who are claiming, about Hindutva aggression, they have nothing to show for except for a small video where someone
Absolutely. The
said,
desecration of the saffron flag also was caught on camera. Rashmi, I request you to please stay on with us. We're also joined by former UK MP Ravi Ranger. Thank you very much for joining us. Rashmi Samant says this is in fact only emboldening the propaganda against Hindus. The anti-Hindu mindset is emboldened by such stands taken by political leaders here back in home in India. Mr. Ranger, how are you seeing this entire episode unfold? Even the authorities there haven't blamed anybody.
First of all, I'm not a member of parliament. I'm a lord in House of Lords, upper house.
All right.
So this is Lord Ranger. My reaction is very simple. This is the legacy of partition of India. Those who divided us in India have divided us all over the world. So we are finding the reaction of that hatred which generated in 1947 against one another based on religion. So the other thing I would like to add is this is a very sad when religious disharmony takes place, because it is the responsibility of the leaders and all the religious leaders to unite humanity. Religion is a force for good. It should be used to unite, not divide humanity. Because where will we end up? Because we will end up hating each other. Either we live in harmony or we consume ourselves in hatred. And I also blame those people who damage their religion by doing such action of hatred, because they are in fact insulting their own religion, which teaches them this kind of horrible thing. So I think we have no choice. We live in a global village. You know, in our country, in our India, they say Vasudeva Kutumbakam. The world is a global village. We have to live with one another. We have no choice where we live, but we do have a choice how we live. So I think it's a very sad that the racial hatred has started outside India as well.
Right. Let's in fact bring in Ms. Samant once again. Ms. Samant, in your case, the Indian diaspora and several organizations affiliated to the diaspora wrote to the then Prime Minister, to Boris Johnson. Do you think there needs to be concrete measures taken by the government and the authorities there to put a full stop to this as far as, the anti-Hindu mindset is concerned?
Yes, there is definitely a necessity for this to be tackled from a legislative perspective. It's necessary for leaders to come out with a clear stance supporting the Hindus, because otherwise this is just going to, it's just going to snowball into a bigger problem. But I think currently the Hindu community is just dealing with the after effects of the attacks, and many of them are running scared that this is just the beginning. I have had so many messages and calls from friends that they've feared that this is just the beginning and it's going to get considerably worse. So I'd like to think of the community as not being in a position to actually put together letters and appeal to anybody, but rather put out fires and, help their fellow, Hindus. That is where we are at as a community right now, scrambling to help one another, save one another, and, move away from conflicted areas where possible attacks can happen further. I mean, there is one gathering being called for 5:30 p.m. British Standard Time today in front of the Durga Temple in Birmingham. And, I only fear what could happen. It could be worse than what happened in Leicester. Leicester was a momentous thing. It just happened, and then, such horrible things happened, even if the mob came together at the last minute. But Birmingham is being planned. The posters have been up for a very long time now. I fear to think of what will come to pass today. Definitely the leaders need to take cue. They need to, I don't think we are in a position to even send letters at this point. They need to
concrete measures need to be taken.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Rashmi Samant and Ravi Ranger, for joining us on the broadcast.